Now, there are those who love color, artifacts, history, a playground of imagination. And for the aficionados of just contemporary, clean lines, modern aesthetic, we've got something for you. Now, if you found yourself looking to change your wall space and make it exciting or feel like you're in a new house, you could look for what's available for you. Maybe change to brick, vernacular material, flint, mathematical tiles, or you could just come to Classsic Moulding and just have it painted. Well, my name's Peter Ngigi. Welcome to Property Focus. And welcome to Classsic Mouldings, the home of creative interiors. Now, it's a delight, it's a theater of optics. You've got your flooring, you've got your walling, you've got your paints, all of that. And no, this is not a Peter Pan story, this is not pixie dust on this wall, but this is Classsic Mouldings paint textures. Look at this, it's got sort of a rust feel, but it's very smooth. You've got rust on fondo, and you've got a blue rust on fondo right over here. Looks like metal, but magnificent. Right on this side, we've got the Classsic Huda with the stencil right over here. Different designs to just make it just pop with a bit of color washes right behind there. Come along, right over here, you've got a wall that has been positively charged. Now, it's been electrified to give this ionic feel, and it's quite beautiful. I actually like it as a piece of art that you could just frame on the wall. Magnificent, right? Right on this side beside me, if you're wondering, you've got a wall over here that's got different textures, which is the stucco marble. It's got a marble-like sort of feeling and texturized to just give you this look and feel. Right on the floor, you've got your stone tiles that are cut out right over here at Classsic Moulding. And then on my right, you've got your plain colors. These are the flat paints on this side. Coming onto this section, you've got your micro marble, which can be used, by the way, as a walling and also flooring paint, which leads you on to this section over here where you've got your cornices. Of course, the texturized paint has been used over here. You've got your wainscoting that are in white that you could have them to whatever shape, size that you so deem fit. Right over here, you've got your cornices coming up with different designs. You've got a floral one, you've got a plain one, you've got a checked one, you've got one that's got a shape of curtains, and right over there, the imperial. Now you've arrived in life if you've used that particular one, because it's huge, it's majestic, it's for somebody who wants to feel and sort of just bring color and life to their spaces. Of course, more cornices on this side, and they're in two different materials. So we've got a PS on this side, which is a bit lighter, and we've got a PU, which is much stronger and tougher. You've got the earth metal, and also on the interior of this tunnel, you've got travertino, smooth and pitted chera. Natural stone on the floor, and just a magnificent space in total. Like, it makes sense. Different colors brought together, but as a whole, so cohesive and so beautiful. Now here's where all the drama begins. A bit of infusion of different styles coming together. A bit of archi, a bit of calci cruda coming together, like the Italians say now. And you look at that beauty. Look at that wall. You've got your different colors, copper, green, teal, gray. It's magnificent. And right over here, you've got your decorative fireplace, which is also in molding and complements that wall very, very beautifully. Bellissimo. Mwah. And of course, your columns, still decorative. And these are full columns right over here. And this can be segmented, which still looks marvelous. Coming on to this section, you've got your natural stone. And get this, a natural stone sink, and also the backsplash for this particular section can be in stone as well, which is quite ingenious. I like it. Like the curves on this side. Coming on to this section, you've got your Zefiro, you've got your Cristallia, you've got your Caravaggio. I'm telling you, it's becoming Italian at this rate. Still working on natural stone, but come along, I want to show you something. So you've got this wall that's got a bit of metal, a bit of more decorative paint. That's just art on its own. I mean, you're bringing life to these spaces and not pixie dust. You can get this art classic molding. Now, this is the bedroom section over here. And remember the cones that we talked about? You could use them on the roof and you could also use them on your walls. And you know what? Don't take my word for it. We're going to talk to the experts to tell us a little bit more about some of these things. I mean, wow. Look at that pot. It's quite beautiful. Let's go meet Mukami. Well, fantastic. We just had a tour of the studio and now we're going to have a chat with Mukami, who apparently used to be a beautician back in the day, and now she's doing walls and spaces and all these beautiful stuff. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you. Karibu to Classsic Mouldings.
So what is the design process for somebody coming into this space?
Now, first of all, when you come in, naturally the first thing we do is welcome you. So Karibu to Classsic Mouldings, and then naturally would also ask you, are you a repeat client or how did you come to discover about us? If you're a repeat client, then we'll handle you differently because then at least you know some of our products, and then we'll want to know what brings you back to us, you know. If you are a new client or a working client, then we can start again from the reception, take you through all our products. We start from the ceiling, we go to the ceiling products, we go to the wall finishes, be it flat, be it textured, decorative, anything. We go to the moldings, we go to the natural stone, anything that you're interested in, and then we can start planning from there.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I hear there's flat and decorative paint. What is the difference? How does it look?
So decorative paint, technically, think about it like this. It's paint with character. You want a beautiful space. You want something that will give you that edgy, fashionable.
Is this it?
This is it. This is it. This is actually one of our textured paints we call Vadarame.
Vadarame.
Vadarame, yes. Now, if you're comparing to flats, the flats to the textured paint, then it's more about the texture of the decorative paint, because then we're going to talk about how do you want your space to look like, what character do you have, what colors are we looking at, how is your space formed. Now, that's majorly it. For flat paint, not to leave it away, we also have different colors and shades of the same thing. You're welcome to have like everything as soon as you walk into the door.
Fantastic. Now the cost element. Some may fear it's a bit expensive. What's your take on that?
I would love to debunk that, if you may.
It's okay. It's okay.
If you allow me, that is.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the cost matter, we normally have a wide variety of paints. So for the cost, it's really is within the planning session, because once we come to your place, we also, as we are planning as a group of designers, as QSs, we'll start with you like, what is your cost? What do you think we can, then we can bring you in. What do you think we can do with this cost? We can show you all the products that we have, because again, like I mentioned, it's a wide variety of products, and anyone is represented, because the cost cuts across all our products. So we can start with you with the product that you believe that you like. If we can give you something that you like there, if we can custom make something for you, then all that is covered without having to fear about the cost element, because we have this in mind as we're doing that planning with you.
Interesting. Now give us your parting shot.
Well, there's nothing much I could add besides just saying, welcome to the home of creative interiors.
Magnificent. Well, thank you very much. Really delighted to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about decorative paint, about molding cornices. If you didn't know what that is, now you already know, and you know where to get it. Moreover, on top of that, now we're going to have a chat with one Dishon to tell us about the roofing products that also accompany your roof. Let's go have a chat with Dishon. Welcome to Property Focus.
Asante sana, Peter.
Good
to have you back, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I know you, but our viewers need to get to reintroduce yourself once again to our viewers. You could just, yes.
Cool. My name is Dishon Mwanza, as you've just mentioned. At Classsic Mouldings here, I'm a roof products specialist.
Yes.
So the roof products would be your roof windows, your light tunnels, and your loft ladders.
Which is quite interesting. I only thought you did decorative paint. I didn't know you were doing roofing products as well.
Yes, well, we noticed a gap in the market, and we're quick to fill in that gap. What we've done is we've brought in roof windows so that you can be able to convert your attic spaces into a livable space. We brought in light tunnels for your dark spaces. If you've built your mansion and in the middle there's not enough light, then you do your light tunnels. And then for easy access to your attic space, we've got your loft ladders.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you've got different products over here. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so cool. So roof windows, our roof windows come in different sizes. What you see here is just a small range, but there are 7 different sizes. What you see from the outside is aluminium that is covered with polyester. So it's always like a gunmetal finish. And then the glass is double glazed. Allow me to just illustrate. So there's an outer glass and there's an inner glass. This is toughened. So we can stand both of us on this glass and it won't break. Then in between there's a vacuum, and then there's an inner glass, which is just ordinary glass. The vacuum is to ensure that the noise from outside doesn't come into your space, correct? Right. So what you see again around the window is flashing. So flashings come in different types. There's this, which is for shingles. Then there's Decra flashing, which we call EZV, which has a skirting, a rubber skirting. And then there's EHN. So if you have your Portuguese clay tiles, then you'd use the EHN flashing. Fantastic. Correct. So inside, I think I'll show you inside, but it's made of fine pine that's vacuum impregnated and lacquered. Fantastic.
Yes. Brilliant, brilliant. Well, give us your parting shot.
Cool. So I would like to encourage architects, contractors, developers, use these products, convert your attic spaces into livable spaces. Provided you have the headroom, provided the pitch is good, convert your attic space into a livable space, get an extra floor. Brilliant. Yes. Wonderful. Don't just stop at the ceiling. Brilliant. Go all the way up. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming onto the show. Karibu. Good. Karibu. And there we have it from Dishon telling us about the roof products. Now, we've got, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we've got Shamona and then the CEO, who's been doing this for about 30 years, man of the hour. Stay tuned for that. This is Property Focus. Welcome back from the commercial break. Now, you didn't think we're not going to show you a house tour, or did you? Now, here I'm at a client site. They just recently renovated this place in the plight and height of COVID, and we got this magnificent space. Now, this site has just been commissioned, and the client is extremely happy with Classsic Moulding works. So we're going to tour this site and see just what you can do with your wall spaces. Let's go. Now, climbing into the dining room, remember, you can, as an interior designer, you can cleverly distinguish and characterize spaces. Now, what distinguishes this space and the living room is the ceiling. So you've got gypsum right at the top over here and cornices to separate the two spaces. And on this side of the wall, you've got your rusted wall, which has been oxidized to give you this feel. It's particles that have been put and acid that has been painted to give that deep brown rust. Fantastic. Don't you think so? Now, we're going to see other elements and other decorative paints that have been used in this home. It's a fantastic client site. So let's go see the staircase. Come along. Coming up to the staircase, right on the walls over here, escorting me to the attic, you've got stucco mumo, this marble-like finish, which is very elegant and very beautiful. Now let's check out, apparently, one of the darkest spaces in the homes. This place was infested with roaches. Let's go see. Now, remember I told you this place was dark and everything, and introducing these roofing window products. Let there be light. And there is light. Now, there are two ways you could use these windows, and they're fantastic. They bring in an obscene amount of light, and you could use them in number one, this way. Get that breeze in, fresh air all into this attic space, or you could use it in its second mode by taking this latch up and closing it and putting it on or opening it once more. So do that. Close it, and look what happens when you open it. It's a whole different scene. Look at that. Now, this is the bathroom of the century. Actually, I think this is the very best bathroom we've ever seen on this show. On the left, double action window. On the right, double action window. Right back here, floating vanity in natural stone. Of course, you've got the gypsum. And right on top of me over here, you've got the polyurethane panels. Now, that is not wood, but it's made to mimic wood. Look at the stones. Just make a very good floating vanity. And the partition that separates the toilet with this other space is all in natural stone. Very beautiful. More windows out over here that just make this quite a delight. Now we're going to have a chat, little chat with an interior architect, interior design architect, to tell us about her processes and what it takes to become an interior design architect. Let's go have a chat with Shimona. Well, thanks for keeping it property focused. As mentioned, we're going to have a chat with an interior design architect and a very good looking one, might I add. Welcome to Property Focus, Shimona.
Hi, Peter. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you on the show. Now, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am the general manager here at Classsic Mouldings, and I would firstly like to say that it's such a great honor to be part of a thriving company in the industry in Kenya, being part of such a great team. And my experience with Classsic Mouldings has allowed me to expand my vision in design, bring out my creativity, and working with such a great team. And having Mr. Neumann, our CEO, as our mentor, is such an honor because we learn so much, we have the freedom to express ourselves, and this is why we're called Classsic Mouldings.
Now, when I walked in, I saw a signage right there, yeah? If you think it's expensive to get a professional, why don't you try hire an amateur? What's the importance of getting an interior designer, architect or architect interior designer?
The importance about getting an interior designer, firstly, let's look at design as a field. Design is about a skill that each individual aspires to have in a very unique way. And with this skill comes the art and the expression and the creativity. When you come to us as professionals, we guide you through every single process. We walk hand in hand, take you through every design process, and we create a vision that you probably thought could never happen. Secondly, looking at design in the point of view as designers, we have some unique traits because we're constantly enhancing our creativity. We all design in different unique ways. We create concepts that may not relate to other designers, but it's our own unique designs that we create. And this comes through our clients because they allow us to create these visions. Secondly, not only having designers on board brings out the creativity, but it also helps you when it comes to cost because we help you avoid unnecessary costs in the industry. And this allows you as a client to save money and to add value to your property as well.
Well, there you have it from Shimona herself. Now we're going to see the man who's brought the impossible and made it possible. Stay tuned. We've got the CEO coming up next. And now with the man of the hour himself, Mr. Moshe Neumann. How are you doing, sir?
Very good.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I came to Kenya 36 years ago.
Yes.
And because of my dream to live in Africa.
Yes.
So you do the math. I came when I was 30.
Yes.
After being employed for a while, and then I had the urge to open Classsic Mouldings.
Okay.
At the time, it was only cornices, ceiling medallions, and the more classical range of moldings. And that's how we started.
So more people are coming in and they want to change their spaces.
Absolutely.
I love this client site. I like what you've done with the roofing and everything.
Yes.
Which begs the question, what new trends do you have at Classsic Mouldings?
So look, we developed the existing materials. For example, take moldings that originally are regarded as classical.
Yes.
Mouldings doesn't have to be classical, it can be super modern. When you see ceilings with some straight lines, not on this site, but we do it a lot. There is a whole ranges of modern mouldings that do different tricks of interiors. And mouldings is also, the purpose of moulding, for example, is to straighten line, to give you a neat finish, and the quality, you know, we bring our mouldings from Belgium, from two fantastic companies, and like, there is something very important to tell you, Peter, that mouldings can be misleading even if they look the same. A moulding shouldn't shrink or, you know, or expand. Ours don't. If you look very well, very carefully at the moulding, try and find one joint. There is no joint.
Exactly.
So the quality of the products we bring, the upgrade of the styles, is what's happening. We have new areas that we intend to go in, and I can't disclose all, but I can tell you that the idea is to provide interior design companies, like planning interiors. We just had dinner with them yesterday evening, are also modernizing and going beyond. I'll give you what is beyond. Now we have finishes that were in the old days an absurd. For example, corrosion, rust. Today, some of our most beautiful walls, as I may take you later for around on this site, and you will see that corrosion, rust is a beautiful element.
Like what we have here.
Absolutely.
And I can see this is actual copper, and you actually oxidize this so it comes out like this.
Yes, with a friendly acid. The paint, the so-called paint, contains metal, iron particles. And then once it sets, we apply acid. Wherever we apply more or more times, it just rusts. And that's the beautiful color.
Wonderful. Give us your parting shot.
Well, interiors is there to provide beauty, to change your mood. If you, as a wife or a husband, have too many fights, change the interiors, you'll feel better. But I really mean it, that interiors and aesthetics make people feel much better. And even kids appreciate it. Environment, why do we like to go to a nice river and sit on the river bank? Or why do we like water? Why do we like things that make us happy? And interiors is the closest we could do because it's at our own home.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming on to the show. That was the man of the hour, Mr. Neumann, Moshe himself. Or did I get it right? Moshe Neumann himself. And he's the maestro within this industry, an authority figure to tell us about this. Thank you very much for coming on to the show.
It's a great pleasure.
From Caravaggio to Calce Cruda, you've seen the different array of all these moldings, beams, and so much more. It's not pixie dust from a Peter Pan story. No, all of this is from Classsic Moulding. I've been your host, Peter Ngigi. Thanks for keeping it property focused. Do hope you enjoyed yourself. Catch you next week, same time, same place. Ciao.